It's a day described as the deadliest for Jewish people since the Holocaust. A brazen attack on Israel that would have lasting consequences on the entire region, but most notably for Israelis and Palestinians, now caught up in just the latest chapter of this decades-long conflict.
On this day, we remember all those who were brutally killed and suffered unspeakable violence, including sexual violence, as they were simply living their lives. This is a day for the global community to repeat in the loudest voice our utter condemnation of the abhorrent acts of Hamas, including the taking of hostages.
The Hamas attack on southern Israel exactly a year ago killed 1,200, taking 250 hostages captive, over 100 still held today in conditions unknown. Israel immediately declared war on Hamas as airstrikes were launched in the densely populated Gaza enclave. As civilian casualties mount and humanitarian needs soar, a temporary week-long ceasefire in November sees 105 hostages freed in exchange for about 240 Palestinian prisoners. The war resumes on December 1st, followed by an Israeli ground assault in Gaza South. The UN Secretary-General invokes Article 99 of the UN Charter on December 7th, urging the UN Security Council to act, followed by a US veto of a Security Council ceasefire resolution on December 8th. The UN General Assembly passes a non-binding resolution on December 12th demanding an immediate humanitarian ceasefire with an overwhelming 153 countries in favor. South Africa's case accusing Israel of genocide opens at the International Court of Justice on January the 11th, followed by 6 provisional measures ordered on January 26th. In May, the ICC prosecutor Karim Khan files for arrest warrants for Israeli and Hamas leadership over alleged war crimes. And on October 1st, Israel launches a ground assault on Hezbollah in Lebanon, amid fears the war could drag the region over a cliff.
The war that has followed the terrible attacks of 1 year ago continues to shatter lives and inflict profound human suffering for Palestinians in Gaza and now the people of Lebanon. I have spoken out about this often and clearly. It's time for the release of the hostages, time to silence the guns, time to stop the suffering that has engulfed the region. Time for peace, international law, and justice. The United Nations is fully committed to achieving these goals. In the midst of so much bloodshed and division, we must hold on to hope.
Events that have highlighted the inability of the UN and other international organs to bring this and other conflicts to heel, leading to frustration and anger on both sides as Gaza's death and destruction played out for all the world to see.
Netanyahu does not care about Palestinian lives or even the hostages' life. He does not care about international law or human decency. He only cares about his own political survival. So what will you do to ensure he is not the one calling the shots? And here I'm talking to you, the Security Council. What are you going to do in order to stop this lunatic from continuing this genocidal war against the Palestinian people?
In an act of outrageous absurdity and moral bankruptcy, the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court announced that he will seek arrest warrants for Israeli leaders and Hamas leaders. This is despicable and unforgettable day on which an immoral equivalence is being made between a terror organization and the leaders of a vibrant democracy.
With efforts led by Qatar, Egypt and the United States simply having failed to find the necessary compromises from both Israel and Hamas. And now, Hezbollah and Israel in Lebanon.
I put forward with Qatar and Egypt a ceasefire and hostage deal. It's been endorsed by the UN Security Council. Now is the time for the parties to finalize its terms, bring the hostages home, and secure security for Israel and Gaza free of Hamas' grip, ease the suffering in Gaza, and end this war.
A statement from the White House says the United States will not stop working to achieve a ceasefire deal that would ease the suffering on both sides, assure Israel's security, and provide dignity and peace for both peoples. But as this war escalates, now in Lebanon with growing concerns of a broader regional conflict, the international community appears increasingly helpless, further delaying any hope that some semblance of normality could return for millions devastated by the violence and its heart-wrenching consequences that appears to have no immediate political off-ramp in sight. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.